Hey guys, we have a lot to talk about today. I literally just came from the hairdresser a couple of hours ago, and I need to talk with you guys about some things that I learned about my hair and what's changed with my hair in the last few weeks. So, as many of you know, you've been following my journey. By the way, I'm Dr. Jen Caudle. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for joining me. I'm a practicing family physician. I also talk about COVID and stuff on the news and health issues in general. You guys know that I got COVID not too long ago. And it really, really took me for a loop. I actually found out that I had COVID on a live with you guys. That's exactly right. I had taken 2 COVID tests. They were negative, but I was sick. I thought I just had some virus. I did a third COVID test live and it came back positive and I was completely shocked, blown away. You guys remember that live. Well, you remember my course. I did videos every single day about my symptoms. I had a lot of upper respiratory symptoms. I was pretty sick, really took almost a week off from work. Certainly had fever and chills in the beginning, sore throat, and then the congestion and the mucus and stuff really lasted for a while. And if you guys remember too, my symptoms, like the congestion and the mucus, lasted for actually a couple of weeks, actually longer than 3 weeks. And I ended up taking an antibiotic as well as a steroid towards the end of that time. It was actually 3 going into 4 weeks, I believe, because of the congestion and mucus was so thick, it wasn't resolving, etc. So I'm telling you this because I think it's important to be transparent and to talk about the course. You guys know that I've been out of COVID for, I don't know, a couple weeks now. So I went and got my hair done today. Today. I get my hair done every 6 weeks. This was my first time getting my hair done since before having COVID. No big deal, in my opinion. He's just, my usual. You guys know, and I've been very transparent about my hair. I wear hair extensions. This part is my own hair. Like this is my hair right here. You can see it. And then the hair extensions are kind of under here. They're braided. I've been very transparent. I've worn hair extensions since I was like in my 20s. No, yeah, since I was like 21 when I was doing pageants, like when I was in the Miss America system. And now doing TV and stuff. Hair extensions, the thick hair, I love it. And it's easy, low maintenance, and it, whatever. Long story short. Okay. So I go to the hairdresser today. My usual, 6 weeks. And I didn't happen to mention anything to my hairstylist about having COVID or anything because, well, I didn't think about it. So I'm sitting there and I notice, I also get hair color at this part here at the top because I get like this crazy wild patch of gray hairs, like a little stalk that grows like right out here. It's like the weirdest thing. So I'm sitting there, my usual, and what usually happens is I sit down, she takes out the hair extensions. Ladies, gentlemen, if you have hair extensions, you know how this works. She was taking down the braids and she was taking everything down like normal and she was combing my hair out, okay? That's normal, easy peasy, not a big deal. And I have pictures of like what I'm going to tell you about, okay? So that was just like normal. And then she does the relaxer because I get a relaxer like right here, like at the front to like help it lay down and stuff like that, just to keep this straight. So she did the relaxer and I noticed that it was kind of burning like around here, but I didn't think much of it because my scalp is often very, very sensitive. Even though I've been doing really, really well over the last few years, it's not really been that big of a deal. But this time, even though my scalp doesn't get really sensitive when she does the relaxer, this time like right around here, it was like super, super sensitive. And I was like, ooh, I think that's kind of burning. And I was doing charts and doing all my stuff. So then she washes me out, doing okay. Then she goes and puts the color in and that really kind of burned. I'm like, ooh. And I even to the point where I was like, hey, I don't know why, but it kind of burns right there, whatever. And she's like, okay. So we go to wash that out, right? And so then what happened? Okay, so after she washes the color stuff out, I'm just in the deep conditioner and all that kind of stuff. We go back to the chair. It's like this process, okay? People, ladies, gentlemen, if you get your hair done, like what's going into this, right? All right, so this is the process, but I'm walking you through it because I need you to understand, like this is like a big deal for me. So then I sit back into the regular chair and hair is wet, but this part is relaxed and it's colored and she starts blow drying the rest of the hair out. Because what she's going to do then is braid this hair to put the extensions on and whatever and start styling it. And she's blow drying like usual, blow drying. And I wasn't thinking anything of it. I was looking at my phone and stuff. And after she's done, she goes, did you have COVID? And I said, yeah, why? And I didn't think it was a big deal to tell my hairstylist that I had COVID. Like, it was about like a month ago and I was better and it just didn't seem relevant. She's like, because you're losing a ton of hair. I was like, what? I'm gonna show you some pictures. And I've never really shown pictures of my hair, but I think it's important to see this stuff and to, like, I talk about these things because this is real life and this is real stuff. We are all living through a pandemic, post-pandemic, whatever. These are real things. And even though I'm a doctor, I'm a family doctor, and I talk to my patients about these things, you know what? Sometimes these things happen to me too. And I'm literally sitting there with my eyes, like my mouth is like, huh? She's like, okay, so this guy's is this is my natural hair. Let me pull it up. Okay, can you see that? This is me. That's my own hair. There's no extensions in there. The braids are out. She's done the color and the perm at the top. And what she does, like, just so you know, anybody who's interested in hair, the hair down here, like my own hair, she will she'll put a texturizer in it so that it's not too thick, because my hair is so thick and like she can't even put a comb through it. So you can see my hair is about, I don't know, about that length, but it's thinner. It's not as thick as like hair weave hair. Like this is a ton of hair, right? But this is my natural hair, okay? This is before the hair extensions are put in. And this is what it looked like after she blow dried it and everything. And this is when she was like, you just lost a ton of hair. Now, I don't have a picture for you guys of what I look like before this because I didn't know to take one. I didn't know she was going to tell me I lost a ton of hair after the blow dry. I didn't know she was going to tell me all this. I didn't know she was going to be like, did you have COVID or whatever? So I didn't take a before or after. My guess is it probably looks similar to this, but I don't know. I mean, so this is the thing. I was like, well, how much hair did I lose, right? And then she shows me this. This, I know it's gross, but this is the second batch of hair that I lost with the blow dry process. Now, let me give you a little bit of a perspective, okay? So it's natural to lose hair, especially when you do what you do to my hair. I got the braids in there. I got the weave in there. It's been, all this drama. Okay. But this is the thing. This is what my hairdresser told me. She's like, Jen, we usually get like hair like this when I'm first taking down your weave and combing it out. And she's like, oh, that's my mom. Call you back, Ma. She's like, when we go to blow dry it after we've done like the relaxer and the color and all this stuff, she's like, we don't get a second batch of hair like this. And like that's like the thread from like the weave. Don't like, that's not like, it's not weird for those of you who know weaves. This is just a thing. Anyway, this much hair. But this is like the second batch of hair she got. So normally she gets one batch of that, like when she's doing my hair, but she doesn't get that like the second time around when she's blow drying it. And she's like, you have lost a ton of hair. That's why I asked you if you had COVID. And I'm like, yeah, I had COVID a few weeks ago. She's like, that's why your hair is shedding. She's like, I'm looking at your scalp. She's like, and it's just different. She's like, your scalp was a lot drier. It just was a completely different scalp. And she's like, I've never seen your hair do what it's doing now, which is that I'm getting basically, hold on, like clumps of hair multiple times while I've done your hair, which usually this is just the first batch when she's first taking on the extensions. And I'm like, oh my God. Because it made me think, by the way, of us talking. This is me without my weave. And you, like I say, you and I, right? You guys and I've done a number of videos on hair loss. And this is such a big deal for me because, like, once again, I do these videos. I talk about these things to my patients. I read medical stuff every single day of my life, really. I'm reading something medical. I just am. I'm a doctor. It's just what I do. And by the grace of God, I don't have many of the conditions that I'm reading about, that I'm treating about. But this is one of those times where I'm sitting there in the chair and she's showing me a big ball of hair like this. And I'm like, holy shamoly. And it's my hairdresser that didn't even know that I had COVID, who basically says, did you have COVID? She's like diagnosing me. Shout out to my hairdresser, by the way, because she is freaking amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, find you a hairstylist that's not just, who doesn't just style hair, that's not just like a hair technician. I'm just making these words up. Find you someone who, I call my hairdresser a hair doctor, because she's like a hair doctor. Like, she doctors my hair. It's really amazing. So anyway, so she's like, yeah. She's like, I have a number of clients that have come in since they've had COVID, and their hair literally falls out in clumps. And guys, we have talked about this. We have talked about some of the main reasons or some of the main causes for hair loss can be a number of things, right? Let me remind you, okay? And so I read up again on hair loss. And by the way, hair loss can be caused by a number of different things, from using too high of heat on your hair, to chemicals on your hair, to thyroid issues, to stress, to illness, to pregnancy, you name it. But let me tell you what the American Academy of Dermatology says about hair loss due to COVID. And first of all, we do know that temporary hair loss can happen after fever or illness or something like COVID. They say that a few months after having a high fever or recovering from an illness, many people see noticeable hair loss. First of all, I want to know, how many of you guys who are watching have had COVID and then lost some hair afterwards, noticeable hair loss? Let us know in the comments. How many of you got sick with something else? Maybe you're undergoing treatment for something else, or something else in your life, or even a stressor. Like, have you gone through hair loss? I'm curious about this. And then American Academy of Dermatology says, while many people think of this as hair loss, it's actually hair shedding. Okay. And that's why the title of this video is that COVID made my hair shed, because it really, really did. The medical name for this type of hair shedding is called telogen effluvium, which basically means that more hairs than normal enter the shedding or telogen phase of the hair growth life cycle at the same time. So hair goes through these cycles. It does certain things. And when you're going through like an illness, fever, things like that, more hairs than normal may enter this sort of shedding phase. Fever or illness can force more hairs into this phase. Now, what they then to see is, this is for anybody who's out there watching, because like literally, this is me. I'm with you if this is you, because literally my hairdresser is like showing me this ball of hair, and I'm like, whoa. And she's like, you never lose this much hair. Most people, according to the American Academy of Dermatology, see noticeable hair shedding 2 to 3 months after having a fever or illness. For me, it started less than that, by the way. Handfuls of hair can come out when you shower or brush your hair, which is exactly what was happening with me. She was blow drying it, and like she got, let's just remind ourselves, this handful of hair, okay? And this was like not the first handful of hair that she got. In addition, they say that this hair shedding can last for 6 to 9 months before it stops. Most people then start to see their hair start to look normal again and stop shedding, okay? So this is the thing. The good news about this, and this is for all the ladies and gentlemen out there, because I know I'm not the only one, but this is a really important topic for me to talk about, because this is real life. We have talked about COVID and the things it can do to your body and how your body can change. We've also talked about hair loss and how things like COVID, illness, stress, pregnancy, thyroid, yada, 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 can cause hair loss. And this is an example of it. And so according to the American Academy of Dermatology, when the cause of your hair shedding is due to a fever, illness, or stress, hair tends to return to normal on its own. You just have to give it time, which, by the way, I think that's excellent. And also what they say is, as your hair grows back, they say you'll notice short hairs that are all the same length by the hairline. Most people see their hair regain its normal fullness within 6 to 9 months. And I was asking my hairdresser, because I had noticed, like, I have like these little hairs, like, well, not this, but like I'd also had like these little hairs. Oh, this is longer, but like right along here felt like even shorter than normal. And I was like, hey, could that be it? And she was like, well, she has me using this like serum on my edges, because my edges have broken out over years and stuff over time. So she's like, but you're using the serum and we can't really tell if this or that, whatever. Look, all I got to say is shout out to beauticians and hair doctors out there that are calling and that are diagnosing people by their hair, which, by the way, is a real thing, because we know hair is a very important part of our body. Don't blow off your hair stuff, y'all. And, you know, even though there's, say, nothing I can do about it other than take care of my hair, use all the stuff that she has me using, which is unique to me and like what we're doing, and make sure I'm like doing my thing. I've got to just sort of watch the progress. I'm going to track the progress and sort of see how we do. I go to her every 6 weeks, so it'll be 6 weeks from now that I go back, and I'll take another picture. We'll sort of see how much hair she gets when she blow dries it and stuff like that to see if it's growing back. But I mean, this is the thing. If this is you are not the only one. This is happening to a lot of people who've gotten COVID or other illnesses. Make sure, guys, that you're staying in touch, like I just feel so passionately about this because I'm like, oh my God, it happened to me, like clumps of hair. And my hairdresser was like, did you have COVID? And I'm like, what? I can't believe she saw that. Crazy. Just make sure that you are taking good taking good care of your hair, that you are working with beauticians that are really looking after your hair, the quality of your hair, that you're treating your hair well. You're watching the products and the chemicals and the heat and all this good stuff. It's actually one of the reasons why I wear extensions. I wear extensions so I can curl it and do all the stuff I need to do to it for TV, as opposed to my own hair, which you saw here, which would not take so kindly. This hair would not take so kindly to all the frying and dyeing of my hair that I do for TV and other stuff. So just make sure that you are staying in touch with your hairdresser, your beautician, your doctor, and that any changes that you're noticing with hair loss in the tub, in the shower, when you're brushing, combing, or whatever, that you bring it up to your doctor, that you talk to your hairdresser, because they're very, very, very helpful. Another shout out to my hairdresser and to all the dermatologists out there and hair restoration specialists. By the way, if you are struggling with hair loss, as a family doctor, I often see people who come into me first because I'm like the first point of contact. They need a referral. They want an opinion. I usually order labs and we'll do an evaluation of your scalp to see if I think it may be like discoid lupus or something else. I'll order some stuff, but then I'm often and usually sending you to dermatology. Our dermatologists are our friends for so many reasons, but they are the folks that are hair specialists. So keep that in mind. Just shout out to all you guys who are amazing, and you guys are amazing support. That's why I feel comfortable telling you like what's going on in my life, because I think all of this stuff is honestly relevant to all of us. And especially with COVID, we are literally all learning as each day goes on. So let me know in the comments what you think, what's going on with you, how your hair is doing, if you had hair loss due to COVID. I so appreciate you watching. Share this video with other people because, like I said, it's blowing my mind. I knew about it, but I knew about it from an academic sense, not the sense of I'm sitting in my hairdresser who's showing me balls of hair being like, you had COVID, didn't you? It's just it's like crazy, blows my mind. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Make sure you like and follow my page if you haven't. I do daily videos on all sorts of stuff. For those of you who are interested in exclusive content, join my Dr. Jen Superstars group for exclusive content. Also, for those of you on YouTube, hello, please subscribe to my channel and click the little bell for updates. I'll keep the information coming. Let me know what you think. All right, guys. Love you. Thanks for listening. You make it easy for me to share all this stuff about my weaves and all that stuff. Anyway, guys. All right. I love you. Bye.